second question is, our sidewalks are in terrible and in some places dangerous condition. Do you have a plan to fix the sidewalk?
It's $1 million question.
Maybe a little bit more than
20
that.
million.
Yeah, it is 20 million, it is. Actually, that's one of the questions that I heard while knocking on doors during these forums. So I reached out to some of our community members to do some research. And we got some information regarding the sidewalk. It's actually posted on my website at electric.com. But just to read off just some details, you're right, there are about 600 miles of sidewalks in the city. And it is a $20 million fix. And so Sam Zurier actually had actually proposed to work with DPW, and what they did was an assessment, and they estimated that it would cost about $150,000 to fix the sidewalks. So about 30% of Ward 3 complaints have been resolved, but we're not there yet. And so the only way, and there is a way to submit a complaint to the city, but I think what we need is critical mass. So if we can get more people from our neighborhood to submit, and if we're proposing that to city council, to our city, and saying that these are the amount of sidewalks that need to be fixed, because it actually would be more cost effective if they could fix a whole line of sidewalks rather than just small parts of it, I think we would get some results. But we as a community need together to try to kind of submit the request.
In my open, I was mentioning, we had voted on a $50 million bond. 85% of Rhode Islanders, or should I just say Providence residents, agreed to that. I want to see a voter bond, again, for $50 million. I don't want it to be done in some back alley, or however they may do it down City Hall. I want it to be done with voter approval, and then we can split the bond money amongst the different wards within the city and start working on fixing these sidewalks. At the same time, we need to work on improving a situation with lead and pipes that need to be replaced in the Providence water system. We could be replacing the pipes and the lead problem, and at the same time fixing the sidewalks as we left. I think that would be affordable, reasonable, and we've already voted for this bond. I think we should do it again.
Alright, so we all know that our complaints fall on deaf ears when we're calling City Hall State House. But that's one of the reasons why I actually want to have an office within the ward, is be able to have better communications and actually have you directly come to me. As I was walking around collecting signatures, I did meet a few people, and I've actually been able to see some people's injuries from outside in front of their house with sidewalks are up about 6 inches. And I don't see how people with wheelchairs and elderly can actually be able to use the sidewalks, and them using the streets is even more dangerous. But there is money that's floating out there, but before we fix the sidewalks in our streets, but we need to tackle that. It's one of the first things I want to tackle is our sidewalks. But yeah, the money is out there. We just actually have to put it towards the sidewalks. But communications with the city is what it's going to be down to. We all know they fall on deaf ears, but we just need to keep complaining, keep complaining. And every time they dig into our sidewalks and our streets, after they put a brand new sidewalk in, they dig it up to do something with it a month later. And we're back at the same spot, either with potholes or the sidewalk doing whatever. But I know some of these problems are caused by the trees. There's not that we can do that because we also want our beauty at the same time. But I think we need to find ways to actually prevent our sidewalks from actually coming up or collapsing underneath. Thank you.
Like clotheslines, anybody?
So I think probably most of what I'll say will reiterate what my fellow candidates have said here. You know, I've been canvassing around the neighborhood for months. I have a herniated disc in my back, and as I'm walking along looking at my little clipboard and tripping over the sidewalks, I curse, you know, the lack of repairs on them. And it is something that I have heard probably more than any other single issue, other than sometimes parking on narrow streets close to the hospital and close to the farmer's market. That's a big one too. I imagine there's a question coming to that. You know, certainly one of the things that we have to do is that when you do make a complaint or you lodge a complaint for something to get fixed, the information doesn't disappear into the ether. So we do whatever our cynicism is about our government or whatever our past experience with our previous city council person might have been, we need to be diligent about reporting when we need repairs, and I think we actually need to do it collectively as well. So if there are sidewalks in your neighborhood that are in front of multiple houses, I think you need to talk to your neighbors and try and collectively organize to do something about it. What I can promise you is that if I'm elected as your city council person, I will be responsive when such complaints are made, and I will try and facilitate that collective complaint. This is one of the things we love about this neighborhood is how walkable it is. And we have a lot of elderly folks, and we have a lot of young families with strollers. Sidewalks are absolutely essential. I agree with Chris that a bond issue, once again, is in order.